all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a vile one. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child.
All right. Howdy, folks. It's VileMike here. I'm going to bring Elihu back up. He's been having some echo problems, so we're going to see if it's still echoing. Let me know in the chat if he's echoing for you guys too. Testing.
Are we in the Grand Canyon? Canyon.
Well, no echo right now.
Okay.
At least not for me. LDG, do you still hear an echo?
No.
And Mr. CCDB, the reason I said the devil made me do it is because this is CNA stream 222, 1/3 of the devil, or 1/3 of the mark of the beast. Because, you know, I just thought it was being clever. And I need an excuse for being late. But I'm kind of glad I was a little late because of Elihu's problem. Elihu, how you doing?
It's not a CNA stream unless something happens.
If there's not a computer issue, or in your case, a phone issue. And LDG, everything's still okay down there in no man's land? I mean, Florida?
Yeah, for now.
Shit. Oh, man.
Only got a little bit of damage since the last hurricane.
But everything with using you and yours are all good.
We had some damage.
What happened?
The pool enclosure got a little damaged. Got a screened-in pool enclosure.
Do you have an in-ground or above ground?
In-ground.
Okay.
Nice. It's a nice pool.
Because when the way you were saying, like enclosure, I'm like, does that mean it's an above ground pool? I don't know.
No, the screened-in. We got a screened-in ceiling. Whatever you call it.
Oh, you got a pool cover.
Well, yeah, that goes all the way to the roof of the house. It's all screened in with metal bars and.
So you like an awning?
Whatever you call that, screened in enclosure. Dear God, I don't know how else to say it.
Enclosed pool area. That's what you have.
Yeah, so some of the bars bent and some of the screws popped out and some of the panels on the roofing came off. And some of the screen part is ripped because some fences broke apart and like ripped through our freaking screens, some of our screens.
Well, considering some of the stories I've been seeing, it looks like you got off pretty good.
Yeah.
Literally, one of the articles that popped up on my news feed this morning was, and I didn't have a chance to read it because I woke up late. But it was a man who refused to leave his $1.25 million hurricane-proof bunker said everything was destroyed.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as the Noah's Ark representation boat closed due to flooding.
Well, that was a few years ago, but yeah, I really do think it's funny that Ken Ham, on his little Ark encounter, not only had flood damage, but sued the insurance company because apparently they didn't cover as much of the damage as he wanted them to.
It was an act of God.
Well, the funny part about it was not only did he sue the insurance company, he thought beforehand that his boat that's supposed to survive a worldwide flood would need flood insurance. All right, a little funny story from Adventures in Merchandising. I'll tell this. I think it was like 2 days ago at this point, maybe 3. I can't remember. I was leaving one of my stores, and there was a couple of police cars parked out in front of the Walmart. And what kind of spider? And I was curious to what was going on, so I asked one of the security guards because, like, not only does Walmart have their own security, the property area has its own security. The Target has its own security. Like, there's like 12 different security companies that all work at the same property, essentially. Well, I was talking to one of the guys, and he said that one of either Walmart themselves or one of the other security companies, one of the ones that he didn't work for, called the police because of a naked woman walking through the parking lot.
Well, this is Walmart, so.
Well, here's the thing. As soon as he said that, some like tween or teenager yells at him. She wasn't naked. She was wearing paint. She was probably protesting something. So apparently, that day, some lady was walking around wearing nothing but paint through the Walmart parking lot. I have no idea what she looks like. I don't know if she was like crazy or if she was just a young activist or what kind of paint it was. But since a couple of people had their cell phones out and were recording one of the cars, which I'm assuming she was sitting in the back in, that there's got to be a TikTok video or something along those lines, a YouTube short that someone posted, but I have not been able to find it. And my kids said that they were looking because they look for weird shit that happens in San Diego too.
Try looking under the Empress's new clothes.
Why, did you already see it?
No, I'm just playing the pun on words.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd actually already seen it.
No, I'm just trying to do a pun on words, man. Get some more coffee in your system.
I literally was taking a sip as you said that.
Yeah. I can hear that. Damn.
Sounds like a snort, not a sip.
Because I was holding the microphone close to the cup.
Hey, Mike, did you get a chance to do Fleet Week last week?
No. It's been a crazy week at work.
Because I finally went on the Tripoli yesterday.
No, what kind of boat is that?
It's basically it's a small aircraft carrier. The USS Tripoli. Huge hangar, can fit 15 F-22s in there. That ramp that went down to the hangar, holy shit, it's about an 80-degree angle. I'm like, how the hell do people walk up this thing every single day?
Well, do you know why it's called the USS Tripoli?
Yeah, I was reading the plaque on the boards on the side. I've got to take a picture of it. Oh, hi, Bob.
Well, I would also imagine it has something to do with the Barbary Wars.
Yeah, it does fit with the Battle of Trip. You think so? Because the Pasha of Trip. No, because there's actually a point to that story. It's very prevalent in Marine Corps lore. The Pasha of Tripoli presented Lieutenant Presley O'Banner with a Mameluke sword, and that's what's become the symbol of the officer's sword in the Marine Corps since then, because of the Battle of Tripoli. Well, of course I know that.
Which is part of the Barbary Wars, I believe.
I believe so too, yeah. But yeah, the battle, I mean, it's in our hymn, from the halls of Montezuma to
the shores of Tripoli, yeah.
So Tripoli.
Okay, don't make me sing up.
It was a nice ship, man. I just wish I could have sat in the cockpit of a helicopter.
I've never sat in the cockpit of a helicopter. I have sat in a helicopter. I've sat in a couple of helicopters. I don't know what type we were in.
Yeah, I don't know what type that was, but when I was waiting to take my picture, one lady asked, "Hey, can I sit in the cockpit?" The guy said, "We're not allowed to because a kid flipped switches and shorted some wires yesterday, so nobody's allowed to sit in the cockpit." I'm like, "Oh, okay, damn kids." Like, wow, damn kids. So I'm like, I could only sit right there on the edge. Like, shit, I wanted to sit in the seat.
Oh, CCDV. I saw this thing. So when I was in Greece, there was one of the warnings we had were recluse spiders. And when we were packing up heading back to the States, I pulled up something and this fucking recluse spider. Dude, I didn't know spiders could jump like that.
You never heard of the jumping spider?
This motherfucker jumped right on my chest. And I'm like, of course, freaking out like a little fuck. And I knocked the motherfucker off and he runs off. And I was just like, it's like, did he bite you? I'm like, thank God I had my flak vest on. No, seriously.
Sorry.
I had my flak vest on.
By the way, Mr. CCDV's comment was hidden for review. I'm like, why is it hidden for review? I'm going to show it.
Which comment?
The one I just cleared for. Like, why was that held for review?
My new roommate had the nicest spot.
Like, what the hell, YouTube?
Maybe because it includes an insult. I don't know. Which is funny is that was fine, but saying killed, which can get you demonetized just for saying it on a video, was fine.
Yeah. That's what I was like. What the fuck?
Oh man, when we were in Greece was so strange too because it'd be so hot in the fucking mornings and freezing ass cold at night. And okay, let me tell you this: when I worked night shift, I was a comm guy, as you guys know, so I'd work the radios on the night shift, and I'd go out and give the guy on the patrol line usually some coffee or coffee and cocoa because it was fucking freezing ass cold. But I swear to God, once that sun came up, I'm telling you, I'd get off shift for the morning shift, and we were opening up and venting the tents because if we did not, the way that's on, dude, we would have all soaked in fucking sweat. We had to have so we are literally got mosquito tents. We're all literally in our underwear, not using a blanket. Everybody can see us, and it's just like, I'm going to bed. That's how desensitized I was to that. That's how desensitized I've become to that shit. I mean, I'm literally laying there in my cot in my fucking underwear, and the only thing in my skivvies, and everybody can see us as we're sleeping in the tents, and it's just like, who gives a shit?
Well, I was going to go back for a second to talk about when you said there was a spider on your chest. Years ago, when I was a little kid, I bought a fairly realistic-looking rubber spider about the size of a dinner plate. Okay. Now, the butt end of the spider was hollow. So I decided to buy a little frog toy that had a little clear hose that went out its butt and attached to a little ball. And if you squeeze the ball, the frog would hop. So I put the frog inside the spider butt, and my brother happened to be an arachnophobic. So while he was sleeping, I put the spider on his belly, and I extended the hose using some spare surgical tubing and stuff. And I had it go out the door. and I close the door, and I'm peeking through because he actually had double doors, so I'm peeking through the middle, and I start just gently squeezing the ball, causing the spider basically to like rock a little bit, not enough to actually move or anything. And I'm watching him, and he's starting to wake up. He opens his eyes, and they just get real big when he sees the thing on his stomach. And at that point, I squeezed that damn ball as hard as I could, and the spider leaps up and lands on his face, and he screams like a little girl. And I ran the fuck away because I knew he'd be pissed.
Hey, you think? So my wife told me this story that I think. Well, let me go get her. I'll let her tell the story. Hey, Rachel. Okay, just a minute. I need you to come here and tell that snake story.
Keep your sex life private.
Oh, man.
I got a quick snake story. Once I was in Ramona, we found a rattlesnake. I killed it, skinned it, and we cooked it.
I've actually known people who have killed rattlesnakes and worn the rattle as a necklace.
I have never killed a rattlesnake, but I love rattlesnake chili.
I will be honest with you, Ebby. We fucked up skinning it because we were trying to also fillet it, kind of. Which, if you've ever tried to fillet a rattlesnake, didn't work too well.
So we were talking about pranks. He was talking about the prank he did on his brother with a spider, and I remembered you had that snake thing.
Oh.
So I figured you could tell the story.
Oh, well, thanks.
Why not? It's a fun story.
So I have a brother that's 8 years younger than me. So I think I was home from college or something like that, and he was going to school, and he had this rubber snake that he coiled up on the floor next to my bed. So when I woke up, I saw that, and I freaked out, and my mom said that she saw him do it and just laughed and laughed. And I was like, really?
I don't think you realized how dark your mom's sense of humor was. Oh, what about that time he freaked you out with the climbing up the? He was like on top of the ceiling or something, or
so my brother, he could climb between the door frames, kind of like put his hands and feet between like the door frame and climb all the way up there. And I had walked underneath and didn't even know he was there. And he scared the shit out of me. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing those. Well, I figured you'd need to be the one to share them instead of me. Must be what brothers do. I was only a stepbrother for a while.
Well, remember, my brother actually shot me too, so I think that doing that kind of stuff to him was warranted.
Hey, my ex-wife stabbed me. Dude, I still got the scar on my arm.
I got the scar on my leg.
Hey, trust me, if I put that scar, if I hadn't put my arm up, that might have been in my chest.
Well, what's funny is last time we talked to him about it, he said he still says it doesn't count as an actual bullet wound because technically it was a ricochet.
I would agree with him.
Hey, if I had to dig out copper out of my fucking leg, it counts as a bullet wound. Okay.
What'd you do? Did you get shot with a 22?
Yes, he shot me with a 22.
Yeah, that's figured. That's nothing, man. Please.
Oh, please. A little plinker.
Yeah,
22
yeah, 22 copper, please, man, dude. Come on. That's like a BB gun in the eyeball. Nothing. It's just a flesh wound.
That thing wouldn't even go through a door. Listen, you know why I have 22s? Because they're fun to just rapidly fire. But,
they're deterrents. They're not stopping anything. It's a deterrent. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I prefer 9mm. That's
a stopping power.
Hold on. You say stuff like that, but the school shooting at my high school, was done with 22s and 2 people died. So
Shit happens. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying you can't die from a 22. I'm just saying
they're weak.
very
They're weak
unlikely.
handguns. They're considered weak handguns by the NRA.
oh, he had brought at least 1 handgun and 1 rifle. I don't know at what point, but
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
vilifying.
so
I'm not vilifying any shooting or anything like that. I'm just saying the
Okay,
NRA says the 22 is a weak handgun. That's all I'm saying.
it is a weak handgun, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like you said, Elihu, it's a deterrent. It's comfortable. It's lightweight for my 4'8" wife, as you know. And
Yeah, she has a small one.
And if she pulls out her gun, you know, nobody's going to sit there and worry about the barrel size.
Like, wait, is that a 22, 29? Oh, okay, it's just a smaller 22. No, you see a woman with a gun, like, okay, it's a gun, woman. I'm backing off. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna. If somebody pulls a gun on me, I'm not gonna go. Okay, what type of gun is that? How much do you do on the minute? No, it's a fucking gun. I'm stopping.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Sorry, guys. I'm from Texas. If someone pulls out a 22 on you, you just look at them straight in the face. Says, "That's not a gun," and you pull out something bigger. That's a gun.
That's because that's Texas, and
Texas.
everything's bigger in Texas.
Well, like, did you know that in Texas, if you come to a 4-way stop and 4 cars all stop at the same time, do you know who goes first?
Yeah, who has the biggest gun?
Yeah.
Whoever has the biggest gun rack.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
That's
But no,
an old
I
joke.
mean, but Elihu is right about one thing. When it comes to a 22, it's mainly a deterrent. You get hit, yeah, okay, yes, you can die from it. But seriously, getting clipped by one, most of the time you get hit by a 22 couldn't get through my. If I shot a 22 through my door right now, I guarantee you it would not go through my door.
A 22 can probably go about 8 to 9 inches in ballistic gel, fired from about 20 yards away. That's how weak
Yeah,
it
have
is.
you ever? Yeah, Eli, you've seen that. You've seen the difference in.
Well, hold on. You guys, you do know what ballistic gel is supposed to simulate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of. I've watched a lot of them from actually watching the realistic bodies and the damage.
It's supposed to be a substitute for human skin and fat and tissue, muscle tissue.
Yes, and it's
so if it's going through 8 to 12 inches, that means it can still shoot right through you as long as it doesn't hit a bone.
No, what I'm saying is I was talking about objects, not people. He was talking about people. I was talking about objects. I mean, a 22 is not going to go through a door. It's just not.
Maybe not a solid wood door, but one of those cardboard doors, absolutely.
No, not even through a cardboard door. It doesn't have that kind. Even if it went through the cardboard door, all the impact of it would have been suppressed by the time it got through both pieces.
I still think it could go through. Maybe not injure somebody on the other side, but it could go through.
Okay, who's shot more guns, me or you?
Probably you, but it's not like I haven't shot a 22 multiple times.
Yeah, and I've shot 22s multiple times, and I've shot
I'd have to check my thing, but I probably own a couple.
That's why I'm taking a picture of that submachine gun, dude.
No, I'm just saying I've shot them in a lot of different ways, 22s, and I'm telling you right now, they are even a cardboard door. If that got through, it's not going to do any damage because all the power was gone. It's not going to hit a person.
Dude, that picture of that gun I showed you, I sent you.
The person.
That picture of that gun I sent you, it weighs about 20 pounds. It can fire up 200 yards away, about 600 rounds a minute.
Yeah, I don't understand why people would want to do that. Okay, the thing with automatic weapons, which are illegal.
Well, this is military, dude. This is military.
No,
It
no,
wasn't a
I'm
private
talking
gun.
about. I'm talking about. But the whole thing is when you're doing that, when you're doing automatic fire. One thing in the military we learned was we only do that mainly with like crew serve weapons and stuff. And the only individual weapon I still know that we use is a saw gun. One of the reasons why automatic can be a problem is because the barrel can get too hot. That's why you usually have an A gunner and you change the barrels out. And trust me, when you watch those old movies and guys pissing on the barrel to cool it down, that's not a joke.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that.
No, it's not a joke. You CCDV can attest to this. You fire that thing too much and not change the barrel, you're going to melt the barrel. I've seen the barrels melt.
You got to cool it off somehow,
Okay,
man.
since I'm on my phone, so I can't share the video, but there's a video right here on YouTube where a guy's using 22 versus doors. And he says he's got 8 different versions or 8 different kinds of doors, and he's shooting them. And even the full wood ones, the 22 actually does penetrate. Well, it's a 22 LR, so that's probably why, but still.
How far away was he?
But still, at the end of the day, even if it penetrates, it's not going to do much damage.
How far away was he from the target?
Yeah, how far away was he? Distance matters.
Yeah, was he 5 feet, 20 feet, 50 feet?
Well, I'm just looking at the video. It's hold on. Seeing how far away he stands.
Because distance matters.
Looks like he's about 12 feet away from each one.
He's not going to be doing anything. The guy could be standing on the other side, and he may get a flesh wound at best.
But I'm just saying, yeah, I know it could go through. Yeah, I knew the cardboard doors the 22 could go through.
No, I'm not saying
even a half round.
No, I'm not saying they couldn't go through. What I'm saying is, okay, maybe I did say they wouldn't go through. I guess I misspoke there. They would not cause any damage.
You're just a knucklehead.
No, don't compare me to walls. Don't compare me to walls. I'm an asshole. I'm not a knucklehead. But no, you think about it. If you shoot you have to. This is always the thing that bothers me when I hear about shootings. They say it's an AR style or something. I'm like, no, I don't care what style or what the gun looked like or the rifle looked like. What was the caliber? That's always the thing that drives me nuts. They leave the caliber out because the caliber is what matters, not the weapon.
So I'm laughing at CCDV's comment. Ow!
I'm wondering, does that mean his grouping was great or his grouping was holy hell? How the heck were you using a shotgun?
I don't know. It was semi.
Funny, dude. That's funny.
Hey, man, grouping's important.
Yeah, cluster it. Cluster your shots, man.
Well, it's always like when I see them when they talk about these videos and you see these cops shooting somebody and they're like, why did they keep shooting them? I'm like, because they're trained to keep firing until the person is down when they're a threat.
Yeah, why don't they fire at the hand? Because they aim for body mass. That's why.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Yeah. Why don't they aim for leg? I'm like, because this isn't Hollywood.
Yeah,
Okay.
They aim for body mass. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. In the military, that was what we were taught. We weren't taught to be fancy, do like headshots or stupid shit like that.
You want center mass.
Aim center mass.
Yeah, because if you aim for a certain body part, there's a high probability you can misfire and shoot somebody else, or ricochet and hit somebody.
Well, you got to think, what's the biggest part of the body?
Well, torso. Me, that's my penis, but still, it's another story. Yeah, but what the hell is LDG watching?
Hey,
Darren. How you doing, Darren?
Hey, how you doing?
But I mean, yeah, the whole point is you shoot the person until they're down and you know the threat's eliminated. It's unfortunate, but it's just the reality. When you have to do a threat assessment like that, and like I said, I'm no cop. I'm a Marine and an airman, and I don't know proper police procedure. Quite frankly, I thought about being a St. Louis cop once, but I realized I wasn't qualified or cut out for that because I'm like, I could not be a cop coming from the Marine Corps. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, and B, the reason I get confused though sometimes is there's that one video of they put the suspect in the back of the car. Well, I think they ended up finding out it was an acorn fell from a tree, hit the roof of the car.
Oh yeah,
The cop freaked out and then put an entire clip into his own police car.
I remember that.
With the suspect still in it, and didn't even manage to hit the suspect.
I agree with Geek though about
he's rolling on the ground. Shots fired! Shots fired! Yeah, I saw that video.
I agree with Geek
Oh,
though
I
about
don't know anything about that.
the term.
Sorry, Darren.
The term AR style rifle bothers me too because it's all designed to get somebody who doesn't know anything about guns to know one thing, that ARs are supposedly bad. That's if they can relate it in any weapon in some way to an AR because they're trying to get rid of ARs. They want to make them not purchasable anymore. That's
yeah, but the AR was just the civilian version of the M16A2, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the military has moved to the M4. I don't know. I think they moved to the M4 now.
There are so many misconceptions about the AR 15.
Oh, I know
that are willfully perpetrated by the media. And that's kind of then what they've been doing with a lot of firearms for the get-go. I mean, okay, who here can answer the question? What kind of gun does Dirty Harry use?
45 Magnum.
44 Magnum.
Magnum 45.
No, wrong. The kind of gun that he uses is a Smith & Wesson Model 29. A 44 Magnum does not refer to a gun; it refers to the round in the gun.
Yeah,
true.
So I mean, you got people walking around thinking that a 44 Magnum is a gun, and it's not. You got kids walking around thinking that silencers, as they appear in the movies, actually exist when they don't. You've got all this misconception.
You're right about that, Darren, because like early games like GoldenEye, his gun they called the PP7 because they couldn't license out a lot of the names, but the PP7 was supposed to be the PPK, but the 44 caliber gun in that game, the handgun, is just called a 44 Magnum.
Right.
And CCDV is right. AR does not stand for assault rifle; it stands for Armalite.
Armalite rifle, yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, the reason why it's called an AK-47 is for, and I cannot pronounce his first
Alexei
name.
Krishnikov.
There you go,
No,
Alexei Krishnikov. And 47 was when, and the reason why it's called 47 is the year of
Armalite rifle.
It stands for Automatic Kalashnikov 1947. It's a Russian model. They named it after the guy who designed it and the year it came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's why it's called. That's why the 47 is in there because it was created in 47.
Right.
That's what he just said.
The cross pollination, though, that they're trying to make of AR-15 with AK-47 is
insane.
It's deliberate misconstruing of it so they can try to get some legislation passed.
Let me tell you something. The AK-47, while it can be a spray and pray, you drag that thing through the mud, the muck, everything, it still manages to fire. The one problem we had with the M16 was they tended to rust. That's why we had to always clean them and stuff like that. But the AK-47 needed less PM and was still able to go. It was a more stable weapon, as we were told.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been the historical difference between the two. You know,
Kind of
it's
reminds
not,
me
you know,
about how like. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, it's like you know the Russians. They're you know you compare the tanks, right? They have, you know, is their tank as good as the top of the line American tank? No. But is an American tank as good as 5 of their tanks? No. that's the idea there. They just, you know, they'll produce 5 you know, substandard tanks that can, you know, to take care of 1 American tank. That was their whole philosophy when it came to certain things.
Well, that was always kind of, I mean, remember,
Mhm.
Darren, I think you probably have read about the Battle of Stalingrad.
Mhm.
I mean, that was horrific. But it was literally one guy has a rifle, one guy has ammo. If the guy with the rifle dies,
Right.
you pick up the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And continue firing. Yeah.
Russian tactics for the last 2 centuries. Throw more bodies at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, one of the funny things I found out, well, not really funny, but do you remember when you used to see in like the 80s and 90s this whole thing about the Russian bride thing? And I watched a TikTok video of a Russian lady, and she says, "Do you know why we go out and find Americans and other people?" Says our population has recovered since World War II, and actually, I found a lot of things that say most of the world hasn't recovered from World War II. And it's very strange when you think about it, but
Well,
as I've
define
been
recover.
following it,
Yeah.
hold on a second, Darren. I'll let you speak up
Yeah.
on this. I was like, as I've been reading through history and the stuff I'm reading and watching, I'm like, yeah, I guess we maybe really haven't yet, even after almost 100 years. But go ahead, Darren.
I was going to say define recover. What does recover mean? Right? It's like every you know, because you could make the argument that Japan recovered very well from after World War II. You can even make the argument that at least the western part of Germany recovered pretty well after World War II. But
I think for
you know,
Russia, what happened was, especially under Stalin, their population just dropped. That's what I
yeah.
was referring to. When I mean recovery.
Well, yeah,
Their
they have
population recovery has not recovered since World War II.
yeah, but the Russians have an interesting little subculture there where they've got like no restrictions on how much you can drink, you know, in terms of like alcohol and such. I mean, they you know, everybody smoke. You can smoke as much as you want, you know, things like that. And now they're experiencing a health crisis over there as well. You know,
I had, when I was working at a gas station, when I was in the Air Force, I took a night job at a gas station. I had a few Russians come in one time, and I was in California. And one thing I'm going to say about this, they are passionate people. They are. No, I was watching the.
No, I know.
No, first off, I knew these guys were like a little drunk. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't give a shit. And I'm just watching these Russian men just kissing each other. And they're just, you know, full on the lips and everything. You know, no tongue or anything like that. But, you know, they just have this. Yeah, they have this connection with each other that would feel awkward for a lot of Americans. And I mean, it's a cultural difference. I understand that. I just thought it was interesting.
Now, I'll tell you a story. Back when I worked in for a heating and ventilation company, HVAC, I was in charge of one of the warehouses, and I was the only one I was the only one that actually had a Class B license. So I was actually the one driving the truck to and from Camp Pendleton because we were doing upgrades to a lot of the housing up there.
I don't understand. I thought Class B. What's a Class B?
It means I can drive not a full semi truck, but a large box truck. Limited to basically, I was limited to 3 axles.
Okay, gotcha. I only knew about the Class C. That's why I was asking about that. Or the CDL.
Well, everyone gets a Class C, but Class A means semi truck. Class B is like right in between.
Okay, gotcha.
So one day, one of my warehouse workers, one of the guys under me, was a guy named Olya, and we drive up to Pendleton. We drop off our shipment. We're on our way back, and I decide, we got our lunches with us. Screw it. I pull over to one of the viewing spots along the 5 freeway, so we could eat our lunch watching over the ocean, right? And Olya just turns to me at one point and just goes, thank you so much. This was so beautiful. I can't this is why I moved to this country, because people are nice. You didn't, you just did something nice for me. And I wanted to say thank you so much. I don't know why I'm doing Middle Eastern accent, but he's just,
Close
he
enough.
was like so grateful that I was just like, dude, I just wanted to pull over to get a nice place to eat lunch, and he's going on this diatribe about how beautiful everything was and how nice I was. And I'm just like, dude, it's no big deal. You're making me uncomfortable.
Well, Mike, I've watched some reactionary videos of people coming from communist countries like Cuba and places like that. And then they just walk into a Walmart and they start crying because of all the options available. I watched a video some years ago, and it was a man who came over and got away from the Soviet Union, and he saw a Coke machine. Thing was, he didn't know the first thing of how this worked, and he had to ask somebody. No, hold on a second. He had to ask somebody how it worked. He didn't know what a Coke machine was. What we take a lot of advantage of in this country, a lot of people don't know exists, and I think people need to realize that. There's a lot
I'm
of.
just imagining him going to Japan and seeing some of their vending machines.
Yeah. Everything and anything.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, my wife and I, as homeschoolers, we talk a lot about the public education system. I'm sure most of you know I hate the Department of Education and I want it gone. I really think if we were going to adopt a system, I would look more German or Japan, and actually I would go Japan because their education system I really like.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Do you know what Japan based their education system off of? What country?
Germany.
No, Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. Mrs. Viles told me about it. That the Japanese school system was very similar and partially based off of the Mexican school system.
Well, I'm sure the Mexicans like to think that. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Look,
the one thing about Japanese schools and their systems that it could never work here, would never be done here, is that in Japan, there's no janitors. The students clean the school. That would never fly in the United States because we've got unionized custodians. We've got all kinds of other people that are that are employed to take care of the school. Just having them give up the jobs to kids that are able to do those tasks for free. You'd never see it happen here.
Yeah, and Darren's completely right.
I don't know about that, but I would think that would be something we could implement. Maybe starting with private schools, but not necessarily public schools yet.
Well, the whole point of a private school is it's a private school, though. You're not going to force private schools to do that, because then they wouldn't be private schools anymore.
Also,
well, I'm not saying to force them. I'm saying it's something. It was an option. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to have.
you're not going to get the public.
There might be some private schools who have this system somewhere in the United States, but by and large, we're not talking about those. We're talking about our public school system, and that's
Yeah, and you'll never
the
get
vast
that
majority.
done.
It'll never happen because they've already got entrenched government union hacks in there.
See, this is what, you're going to have the teachers union. You'll have the custodial union. Yes, folks, there's actually a custodial union. It does exist. I mean, and the teachers union would never allow it.
Mhm.
It's just the truth. I mean, look, I've never worked for a union in my life. I only have heard two things about unions from people who work for them. They're either really great or they really suck.
Yeah, my union screwed me over about 10 years ago.
What happened, Elihu?
Well, this is when I was working at a grocery store, and I told the manager about my disability. She's like, "Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. They're supposed to put a mat and a stool by the cash register I can sit, so I have to sit all day." Well, a couple of days goes by, the manager is like, "Oh yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it." Like, okay, I talked to a couple of employees. Like, yeah, talk to the union rep. I contacted the union rep. They said, yeah, your manager has to sign a paper saying that you're now employed, you're part of the union. So I talked to the manager, like, yeah, I already did that. Like, okay. I called the union rep. Nope, we never received a copy of this. Like, so the manager screwed me over. Yeah, we can't help you. So I found a little loophole. I was like, okay, I got to be employed 30 days. 25th day, I got injured. No union rep, no help, no whatsoever. Manager delayed filing my union paper to join the union.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what union was this?
Grocery.
Buddy, I've heard several things. I've heard some unions are great and some unions are shit.
Oh yeah, some unions are great.
Yeah, that's all I've ever heard. And like I said, as a conservative and as someone who wants to stay in his lane, I have no clue about whether unions are good or bad. I think there's probably both. I mean, I know why the unions came about. That's why we have Labor Day, but I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, it sucks that you got screwed over by your own union. I mean,
some businesses and organizations should not be unionized because that's what Human Resources Department is for. Why should I pay somebody to speak for me when Human Resources is there?
Well, that's because Human Resources doesn't speak for you. Hold on, Elihu. That's because the Human Resources doesn't speak for you. It speaks for the company.
I know that. Sometimes they do speak for you. Sometimes they speak for the company. That's why I said some organizations should have union representation. Some should not. Like white collar jobs. Like white collar jobs, office work. Yeah, Human Resources, not union based. Blue collar jobs. Yeah, get union based because Human Resources depends on the management and the financial stability of the company itself, not the employees.
All right, Mike, I have a question. Are you part of a union or are you not?
No, but I wish we were unionized because, we haven't had a pay increase in almost 5 years. That was less, or was more than 5 cents.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm neutral on this. This is not my area, so I'm hearing, I know nothing about you. Oh. I know really very little about unions other than what I've been learning. But as far as personal experience, like Elihu or like you, Mike, I don't have those experiences because you guys got to remember, most of my career was in the military. It's not like we had union there.
Yeah, military isn't necessarily unionized, but you do have people that speak on your behalf.
Your mic is off.
No.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
No, Mike, it's not quite like that. Yes, we had an HR department. It was called the patient advocate. My wife was one. Ironically, I had to walk up one point after an appointment and go up to my wife and I said, I need to talk to you as the patient advocate, not as my wife. And my wife was like, oh. So, I mean, all I'm saying is I don't know what the pros and cons. Look, the serious thing is all I'm saying is I don't really know the pros and cons of a union. I assume there's some pros and some cons, but all I've ever heard is 50-50. They're great. They suck. Eli just said he got fucked by one.
Basically, just like anything related to that kind of stuff, a union is best when it's regulated.
How do you mean?
And I know that, as in, like, they have a certain set of goals and they shouldn't go beyond those goals unless it's to the benefit of the workers, not to the benefit of the union. Does that make sense?
I don't know. What is the difference between the union and the people? Is the union kind of like... Okay,
when the union starts...
I'm going to give you a comparison. I'm trying to understand this. You got to understand, Mike, when I'm ignorant of something, I'm honest about it. It sounds to me like these union, some of these union reps sometimes are kind of like DC and they forgot about their people. Does that make sense?
Well, think of like a union. Think of a union like a homeowners association. When homeowners associations first started, they were about, protecting the homeowners and making sure that, certain things were done, like street repairs and stuff like that. Now, homeowners associations tend to exist only to keep the homeowners association running.
I would agree.
And they
with
start
that.
instead of being benefit to the homeowners in the association, they're to the benefit of the association itself, and enforcing rules that make no sense to the regular person. So they stop benefiting the people and they start benefiting the group, if that makes, or not the group, but the people in charge of the group.
All right, hold on. I'm going to Jaloja real quick. I want to continue talking about this because you guys know more about unions than I'm ever going to know. So seriously, I want to learn about this and I want to hear your guys' personal opinions because I do have a few questions.
All right. Well, I'll be right back. Well, you'll be right back. I'm setting stuff up real quick. Trying to. Oh, that's not going to work.
Hey, at least the parrot stopped finally.
Got to switch stands. I wanted to get this all done earlier, but then I also wanted to smoke.
Yeah, I'm speaking of smoking, I'm loading my bowl.
Well, I can't smoke when I'm inside the storage unit, which sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to smoke around the stuff I'm selling anyway, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like when I'm doing the stream, it doesn't make sense not to.
When I was waiting in line for the ship tour yesterday, they had a couple of Marines with the sign, holding a sign, walking on the lines like, prohibited items not allowed, yada, yada, right? And I'm there smoking my joint. The guy looks at me, and he's like, you in line? I'm like, yeah. He looks at me again and goes, that better be gone by the time you get to the ship. I'm like, half a joint, it will be. And when I get there, and when I get there, they confiscate my lighter. But here's the thing: they sell big lighters on board the ship on the little gift shop area. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't bring my lighter on board, but I can buy one here. They said US AAA, big type light, US AAA. I'm like, what the fuck? It's double standards.
That's kind of funny though. All right,
So-
does this work? Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of.
like your beanie. Beard's going.
It's not a beanie. It's a bandana.
Bandana.
Whatever. Tomato, tomato.
I'm switching the stands from the stand I use for the light for the stand I use for the phone. Normally, this stand I'm using to take pictures when I'm here.
Oh, ring stand.
Oh,
One of those ring lights.
Well, this is the ring light. This is the one light I use to take pictures. One of them.
So I got a big problem, guys. Mike, you're bald. And
Well, not right now.
Well, talking about baldness, I guess I'm out of the conversation because I have luscious hair.
oh yeah, I can see your hairline on your picture. No, I'm like, I took a shower the other day and I looked at my hair in the back and realized I am really thinning like all hell. And I'm like, okay, here's the problem I'm running into. My wife won't let me shave my head. She won't. She'll let me buzz it, but she won't let me pick it. And I'm like, I told her years ago. That's why when I got bald, and that's why when I did the bald thing a few years ago, and I told her, I was like, well, it's all or nothing. So I'm like, either I'm going to have long hair or I'm going to be completely bald. And it's like, take your pick.
I got a temporary solution for that, dude.
Yeah, what?
Halloween is coming up. Dress as Uncle Fester. You got a reason to bick your head. And oops, you got to maintain it. You got to keep it maintained bald. Okay, you're getting into character. That's your excuse to bick your head.
No,
come on, Uncle Fester.
No. This Halloween, I'm going as dude. I'm going as dude. All I need is a black Russian and a $10 and a 10-cent check. I'm going as
so dude. You abide. You abide. Right?
I am not Lebowski. I am dude. Even though I hate that word.
The dude.
That's the
I'm
irony.
The dude, man. I'm the dude, man.
Yeah, I'm the dude, man. You know, the irony is I hate that word, being called dude, because that's what my ex-wife used to call me all the goddamn time. And it always reminds me of her saying it. I'm like, don't call me dude. And
well, next time she does that, just go, shut the fuck up, Donnie.
I haven't talked to her. Well, thankfully, she has not contacted me in years. I don't know how many years. I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank God.
No, what I hate is when my teenage daughters just when they're mad at me or when I interrupt them or something, it's dude. It's like, no, dad, not dude.
Oh, no.
Dude is my word, man.
Mike,
I call everybody dude.
No, Mike, I got your beat on that. My daughter's been getting pissed off at me because when she contacts me, I'm like, I'm tired of her shit. I'm like, you're ranting, you're rambling, and I know you want money. Nice TIE fighter. And she has been having this issue where she calls me by my first name, Jess, and I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? I'm like, you don't call me that. And
all three of my younger kids call me Mike instead of Dad primarily because
kids though?
No, they're the situation's complex, but basically two of them are adopted and one of them's my biological, but remember for the first 10 years of her life I wasn't involved. So for her, it was just more convenient to call me Mike instead of Dad. Now, what's funny is all three of them, when they refer to me to their friends, still say, "Oh, my dad."
Well, I mean, here's the difference. We had an issue where when I got married to Madam Yeek, and my daughter was like calling her mom and her bio mom, the cunt, who, and yes, I will call her that. Oh, nice. Is that ATPT?
I don't know what it is exactly. It's
Hold that back up again. Hold that back up.
It's from one of the blind bags or blind boxes. I picked it up.
No, hold it up. Blow it up real quick. I think that's an ATPT.
Well, it might be one of them. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to go.
Yeah, that's an ATPT. Yeah, that's got to be.
Sorry, ATPT. I'm a little more old school Star Wars, so ATPT is from Rogue Squadron to me, not this. But I got it to go. Hold on, let's see if I can find one.
You can't tell me that it doesn't look like an ATPT.
Well, I'm just saying an ATPT looks different from the Rogue Squadron games. One.
Okay, I understand. It still looks like an ATPT. By the way, it is not an AT-AT. It is an AT-AT.
I didn't say it was.
Nah, I just can't stand when people say AT-AT. I'm like, no, it's an AT-AT. So one thing I hated about that Rogue One movie was calling it an AT-AT. I'm like, no.
Also, since I left my coffee in the car, so to maintain my caffeine intake, I keep a supply of these in the storage unit.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double standard side. Yeah, the fuel
can. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that one other side. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love this one because, hashtag not sponsored, but it says Blue Bomber Slushy. To me, it tastes like cotton candy, and it's still zero sugar. So I love this thing.
So I had blood work done by my doctor, and
at least it wasn't by your drug dealer.
No, Elihu's not available at the moment. If I was going to have a drug dealer, I'd be Elihu because trust me, I trust him with anything.
All right, so I picked
holding up, dude.
A couple of these.
The reflection of your computer.
There's not much I can do about it.
Hold at an angle.
Turn it around.
Tilt it up or down. There we go. Now I can see it.
Okay. Well, now you can also see the screen of the phone.
Yeah, but you tilt it.
It's a New Republic, or Old Republic LAAT from the Clone Wars movie. And since it includes one of the speeder bikes, that's why I got this guy, because I want to include this with this.
Ah.
Still telling you, it looks like an ATPT. Maybe it's
it might be that's what it's called, but I'm just saying it might be what it's called. I don't remember, but I'm just saying it. For me, the ATPT was just like a smaller ATST that looked more like a hunchback.
Yeah, but that was because it was a personal, ATPT all-terrain personal trooper.
Also, does any of your significant others or kids read this series?
Not that I know of.
This is the new one. It's part of the Girl in Pieces series. But
my daughter and her girlfriend don't do a lot of reading. They prefer to nice signed copy.
Yeah, but it's a shitty signature, to be honest.
Hey, it's still signed copy.
No, my daughter and her girlfriend tend to spend more time watching like horror movies and stuff. Oh shit, man. When we were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine the last week, I gotta be honest. Like the cameos they got in, I watched it again. I was just like, you just got Wolverine's like, you just got him killed. Yeah, do you know how much he was for the budget? My ass off. And it took me a minute to get the oh yeah, nice. It took me a minute to get the reference to. It was until after the movie when Blade says, "I don't like you." He goes, "You never did," and I was like, "Oh, nice."
Yeah, you told this story last week.
No, I just thought it was hilarious. But I mean, Elektra coming in was just a shocker.
Yep, I thought so too.
Hey, NB, what did you think of the new Hellboy? Since they made it a horror genre instead of action.
I didn't see the new Hellboy movie.
Yeah, the newest one I haven't seen either.
Yeah, it's not an action movie. It's a horror trope movie. A very badly done horror trope movie.
Oh, God. If that's coming from you, that's saying something.
I mean, it's Hellboy, but I'm like, oh, come on. No jump. I watched, like, okay, I'm going to give a little spoiler here. Within the first hour, there was 0 jump scares. I'm like, this is a horror movie without a jump scare? What the hell is this?
Who was playing Hellboy?
I forgot this guy's name. Let me look it up real fast.
Look, despite my personal opinion about Ron Perlman, he was a heck of a Hellboy.
Kristen. Oh, what's his name? Jack Kessie. What is IMDb? Here it is. Hellboy, the Crooked Man. Hellboy is Jack Kessie.
I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, same here. I like Ron Perlman. I mean, despite
he's known for some B-rated movies I've never heard of, like Without Remorse, The Weapons, Sheroes, The Outpost, Deputy Peel. He played Black Tom in What's Upon a Deadpool. That was it.
He played Black Tom Cassidy?
Yeah, he played Black Tom in Deadpool 2. What's his Empire Gypsy, The Throwaway. I never heard of these movies, except for Deadpool 2 and Black Tom.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember reading very much about Black Tom Cassidy in the comics. He didn't really show up a lot in X-Men.
Stop with the bubble wrap, dude. Stop with the bubble pop.
It's not bubble wrap. I'm peeling stickers off a box.
Oh.
Oh, come on, Elihu. If you had bubble wrap, you'd pop it too. It's just an impulse.
Actually, no. I like the padding for shipping. Why waste it?
Exactly.
I don't have the impulse to pop bubbles on bubble wrap. I don't have that impulse.
I knocked over my light.
Now, Michael, want to come to your apartment. Oh, what is that? TNG? I have the same TNG collection.
Oh, fuck. I think I broke my freaking thingy.
You broke your thingy? Uh-oh.
You broke your
wife.
thingy.
Poor wife.
Mrs. Gordinitz is not going to be happy about that.
Not that thingy. The stand for the light. I broke the knob.
That's what she said.
What's funny is after I take the knob, the remainder of the knob off, I can put it back in.
That's what the innuendos do.
Now I just gotta try to get the light to turn back on.
So, NB, did you get a chance to see any Aurora?
No, I'm been dealing with some personal health issues. I have not had a chance. Every time I go back, I have had a chance to go out, and we've had some clear nights. I've been able to turn off lights and stargaze. That's why I said I need a telescope, because I'm like, I know I can see Venus and Mars.
Well, tonight, if you have clear skies, you do not need a telescope to see something pretty cool and awesome. If you look
Is
west,
that what you posted earlier?
Yeah.
yep.
And that's
Yeah.
what he posted earlier.
Yeah, if you have clear skies tonight, look west, man. You'll be able to see that. I can't
What
because
is
we have cloud and
missed the
fog.
buzz.
So let me ask you something, Elihu. When you were in Alaska and you saw the Aurora Borealis, what'd you do?
I just stood there, watched, took some pictures, chatted, checked out the solar winds online.
You know, I always, if I was ever going to, if possible, go on a cruise, I would not go on a Caribbean. I'd go on an Alaskan cruise. Absolutely, hands down.
Well, they have them 7-day cruises.
Oh, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, my health isn't as good as yours, even though you're older than my fucking ass. And I'm 45. Well, I'm 45 today.
Oh, it's your birthday?
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, dude. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know.
Hey, thanks, guys.
You're an old man. No,
I don't get to use the excuse that I've been using for the last 5 years with my kids at the end of the year. Because they keep calling me old, and I'm like, I'm not even 40 yet. Like, come the end of the year.
You will be 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I remember this birthday card we got for someone who was turning 40. And it was like, you're 40 years old and over the hill, but don't worry, in another 40 years, you'll be under it. I don't know why. It's so funny what you remember. I remember as a kid, we had a neighbor, Donnie, who was turning 40. And the card my mom gave him was, Lordy, Lordy, Donnie's turning 40. I'm thinking, now I'm 40, now I'm 45. And I'm thinking,
it's like, I'm not turning 40. I'm turning 25 with 15 years experience.
Let's face it, buddy, you're turning 40. Just face it, but
it's really funny.
When is your birthday anyway?
The 28th of December.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
I'm one of the worst birthday in the most of the world, because it's 3 days after Christmas, 3 days before New Year's. Nobody gives a shit about my birthday.
I've known, my son was born on the 3rd of July. He could have been born on the 4th, but he decided he wanted to be early. There's always this funny story we say about our two kids together. AJ was always in a hurry. Charlene was always slow. So we used to have this thing where, like, he'd always be running around like, AJ, slow down. Charlene, keep up. My wife would be in the front and I'm in the back just trying to keep up and just trying to keep the, everybody in check, making sure I got eyes on everyone. I have that same TNG set you have there.
Well, it's not the full set. It's only a couple of them. Plus, I got like 2 copies of like season 6, I think it is. One's opened, one's unopened. They haven't been posted to the store yet.
I'm gonna get the special editions. I got the special editions of TOS. I love them. I want to get the updated Blu-ray of TNG, and hey, when I finally get it, I'll let you post them on your eBay, and you can get the commission. If anybody wants.
Hopefully next
Well-
month I will be getting a signed Blu-ray of The Flash by John Wesley Shipp.
Oh, nice.
A friend of mine who used to have his own eBay store. In fact, he's the one that helped me originally set up mine over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He's decided that because he's disabled and is getting older, because he's like almost 60 at this point, that he's gonna close his eBay store down, and he's got a whole bunch of stuff that he's been meaning to post for years that he never got around to. So now, as long as I go over to his place to take the pictures and everything, he's offering me 50% on the sales of everything. Now, one of the things he's debating whether on selling is a Gibson, or I think it's a Gibson guitar. I could be wrong about the make and model of the guitar. Signed by both Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane, featuring artwork of Spider-Man in the black costume.
Oh, Jesus Christ! How much?
Shit.
We are hoping to get about $5,000 for it.
I was gonna say 7, man. With both autographs,
I'm thinking 10, easy.
I was thinking 7.
Well, hold on. It has not been authenticated. We have no authentication for it, so that's one of the reasons why we can't get the full price for it. If we want to send it in to get it authenticated, that process will take a couple of weeks, if not months, and will probably increase the value to probably 10 to 12.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be worth it to send it for authenticity?
That's what we're debating right now, because to get each signature has to be authenticated separately. All right.
Yeah. How much would the process cost you?
Yeah, exactly.
Including shipping, it could cost as much as $3,000, and that's a lot of upfront costs for my store.
Yeah, but if they're authentic, you could make a mint.
Well, I know they're authentic because he went to Comic-Con and got them signed.
I understand but you need the authenticity certificate.
Yeah.
But if you have that, you guys could.
That's what we don't have, because it wasn't. When you go in line to get something signed by a celebrity, they don't really give you a certificate.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you get it, if it's going to
even taking this book does not have a certificate of authenticity. I could be faking that sticker and the signature. I mean, I'm not.
What I'm saying is, if it's going to cost that much, you both should front at least half each.
Well, that's the whole point. Is he doesn't have the money right now. That's one of the reasons he's closing down his shop. Is he's just tired of running it because he doesn't have the ability to post everything. So
that would be a good investment.
Okay, Mike, I'm just gonna say this: when it comes to what you were saying, the Gibson guitar and the signatures, it's going to be a risk versus reward.
Yeah.
But
plus,
but I'm going to tell you, and I think you understand this. I'm not a businessman, but you got to get it authenticated. You know that, right?
Well, I'd want to, but it's the
cost.
He needs the money now. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, but if you sell a fake, what does that do to your character and reputation?
Oh, as I said, I know it's not fake,
on eBay.
But it's still, it's not that it's fake, or even people would assume it's fake coming from me, because I'm a honest person, at least. But what I mean is, the certificate of authenticity just increases the value. Period.
Exactly. You guys could be looking at a really good mint if it's valued that way. It might be worth investment.
So
And then
basically,
there's,
you'll be
there's
making
also
it
the
2,500.
possibility that when they value the item, it doesn't actually go up that much.
Yeah, so
That's
you're
the other
looking at
issue.
maybe a $2,000 to $3,000 profit.
I don't
Well,
know. I
but
mean,
do you want to spend $3,000 knowing that it might only increase the value of your item by $3,000?
Yeah, I know. That's the
I
thing.
am not disagreeing with you, Mike. That's why I said risk versus reward.
Yeah.
I'm just going from my perspective, but I understand your perspective perfectly.
If you're not going to make over 25 to 30% sales, I would just sell it as is, dude.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
I'm in it
agree.
for nothing. No, I'm going to be making money no matter what, Elihu, because he's
yeah,
already
I'm
purchased
saying,
everything.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not going to make a 20 to 30% profit off it, I would sell it as is because you're going to make about maybe at least minimum $1,000 profit to 3,000 if you get it appraised with a
Well,
certificate.
this thing's going to go. This thing's going to. We're not going to take less than $5,000 for it.
You get half. You get 50% sales. What I'm saying is it worth the is it at least 30% profit margin?
Yeah. Oh, for me, absolutely. For him, no.
Okay.
Well, that's what
You're getting half of it.
is,
Yeah. So I'm trying to get your financials here, help you out, dude.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
is it really
Elihu,
worth it or not?
Yeah, Elihu, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is the appraisal worth it? Is it going to get a bigger profit? And that's all I was talking about because I think you should, because I think he's lowballing it with a gift.
One of my issues was
what you do.
I told him. Hold on. I told him that if we were to wait a few more years for the, I think it's the 20th or 15th anniversary of, 10th anniversary. If we wait until 2028 to sell it during Stanley's 10-year anniversary of the day he died, a lot of his stuff is a lot of his stuff is going to go way in value at that point, just like they did on the 5-year anniversary. Because I was looking at the listing prices for stuff, and stuff with his signature on it went up during that anniversary period and then went right back down. So
there
was
was
a way that we could wait 4 years, 3 years. We'd make probably twice as much money. But again, he needs the money now. That's part of the issue.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's a tight spot, buddy. I mean, you sound like you got a good business plan in place, but
but you should see some of the stuff. I mean, he's picked up a bunch of stuff over the years. A lot of stuff is signed because. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it sounds like he's kind of desperate. And that's that.
Well, he just had he was literally living in a hotel for like 3 months while water damage from a leaky faucet was being taken care of in his house. And even though the insurance took care of about 90% of the remodel, that still left him and his mom, because he lives with his mom, on the gun for like $10,000. So, and he's like, I really need the $10,000 by the end of the year. That's why we're going to try to get it up before Christmas, but it's just been with my work schedule and his,
You see, that's a situation, people are like, well, that was dumb, or this is like, you have to understand a person's reasons for doing stuff. We don't do desperate things because we want to. We do them because we have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably get more money for it then, but he's got to get rid of it now because I'm guessing logically he thinks it's the most valuable thing he can sell and he needs the money.
No, we're posting a bunch of stuff. He's probably got 100 items that we're going to try to get on there. That's just one of the items.
Okay.
One of the things he's not going to sell is he also has a Ninja Turtles guitar featuring the artwork from the 2023 or 2003 show, I believe. Maybe the 2012 show. I don't remember.
Jenkins?
But it's signed by almost the entire cast, including Ron Paulson, Corey Feldman, and he has it signed multiple times by Peter Laird. And Peter
nice.
So Peter Laird has actually like signed it, and then he put the year on it on the second signature, so that it's 2 different years.
What did?
Nice.
Did Ladman sign it too?
I don't know. I mean, Eastman.
Yeah, Eastman. Sorry, you said Ladman.
I don't know if he signed it, but I know at least one of them did. It's either Laird or Eastman, one of the two. I can't remember. And then somebody, I can't remember who, actually drew a Ninja Turtle on there, and I don't know who it was. I'll see if I can get pictures of it when I'm taking pictures of all his other stuff. But that's one of the things he's not selling. He's not selling that one.
You know, one of the things I remember, and I think it's right here. Yeah. There you go.
Oh shit! Hey, what the hell? You have an old calendar, man. Throw that away. Year's over. The year is over, man.
This is my turtles, man. That's my turtles.
NB.
Yo. Start a calendar. That's nice. But yeah, you know, I remember since you brought up TMNT, I remember when the movie came out and we, like, all the kids in my school, we were freaking thrilled, freaked out. When
the original TMNT movie came out, the live action one, I watched that movie so many times because it was just, God, even to this day, I think it's still one of the best comic book adaptations.
Well, that was the thing. A lot of us who had not grown up in the comic had watched the 80s cartoon, but even though it was not like the cartoon, we loved it. I mean, Raphael,
the movie seemed to do a really good blend. Hold on. The movie did a really good blend of telling the darker storylines from the first 12, 15 comics of the comic book.
Yeah.
At the same time as providing some lighthearted moments and characterization from the cartoon. Plus the colored accoutrement for the turtles from the cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
The voice actors from the cartoon were at Fan Expo last year. That was a crowded panel.
Well, one of the things I really loved about the movie was, I'm going to be honest, Raphael and Casey, Raphael and Donatello and Casey Jones, just when they were trying to get that truck to work, and they're just going through the alphabet of the insults. And as I've gotten older, I've really appreciated that. He goes, "What letter are we on? G." All right, gack face, I'm ready, hose bag.
Way better Casey Jones than that new Chris Pine or Chris whatever his name is, that idiot guy, that newest one, whatever. I forgot who played that Casey Jones guy. He played Robin.
The guy from the Arrow. God, I don't think he did a bad job, but he should have worn the mask more often.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
Now, I loved the fact that
Amell, right? Stephen Amell.
Yeah, but the fact that Casey Jones did not have his mask on the whole time in the first movie, it still worked. It still worked for that movie because he was a sociopath. And I love that point. He's like, "You're claustrophobic." Donatello said and goes, "You want a fist in the mouth? I never looked at another man before."
Oh my gosh! There's a new addition to Fan Expo. just announced John Rice Davis is coming.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Indy.
John Ryan Davis is Indy.
No, he was Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings. John Rice Davies. Look him up, dude.
All right, I'll look him up later if I remember.
Nice. Damn, never mind. $100 for an autograph.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Eli,
Yeah.
are you serious? $900 for an autograph?
No, $100 for an autograph.
Oh, okay, I thought you said 900.
No, he's not Mark Hamill charging $400.
Oh God, who's?
We charged last year.
Oh. Unreal.
And
I got the.
I mean, he told the story one time. He was sitting next to Kenny Baker, and he's like, "I can't believe people actually pay for this." And he said, "Kenny pulled out a picture of his car and said, see this? All these people paid for this." He pointed to his car. Like, okay, so that's why he's like, okay, I'll keep on doing this. That's why he charges a lot for autographs, because people will pay. He's got a mortgage, so.
That reminds me of.
Had the right idea.
Hold on a second, Mike. That's crazy, because I mean, I got to meet William Shatner, and my wife and I did video. Did a photo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just seeing the picture, and then I paid the extra money to get the autograph, and all that cost me was $180. And why did I do that? Because I wanted to be next to my grandmother's hero.
TJ Hooker.
No.
Best cop on the beat.
No. No, I told you guys this story so many times. When we watched Encounter at Farpoint with Picard, my grandmother took me downstairs, it showed me the TOS VHS tapes, and said, "Let me show you what a real captain of the Enterprise is." And
she's one of those people.
Oh, she was one of those people.
Can you believe that
No, really
Hayden Christensen is?
I was talking to a friend of mine who's dating this new girl, and on their first date, she mentioned that he saw a little tattoo right above her boob of a Starfleet comm badge. So he asked about it, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a huge Trekkie." And she looked him dead in the face and says, "Okay, if you're a Trekkie too, this question matters: Kirk or Picard?" And he looks at her and goes, "Cisco." And she goes, "Good answer." And then he responds to her, "Okay, Kirk or Picard?" And she looked him dead in the face, pulled her shirt to the other side, showing a picture of Leonard Nimoy, and goes, "Spock."
Damn. I didn't become Team Cisco until I rewatched the show. During the lockdowns, right when I was meeting you guys and everybody else, I was going through Star Trek. And Cisco became my captain when this episode, and I cannot remember the title of it. It was a two-parter. It was him and Bashir being back in time and the Gabriel Bell thing.
The Bell riots.
Okay.
Yeah, the Bell riots. And and Bashir says this thing. He's like, "Are we really any different than Klingons or other people?" He goes, "I don't know, but as a Starfleet officer, it's my job to make sure it doesn't happen." And I was like, that was when he became my captain. And he submitted it with me in the pale moonlight because,
Far beyond the stars.
yeah, I mean, the whole thing is he could do what Picard couldn't do. That's a simple fact.
Well, the way I look at it, for at least for the first 4 captains, Kirk was the cowboy.
Mhm.
Okay. Picard was the diplomat. Sisko was the warrior, and Janeway was the explorer.
Yeah.
I think Janeway was also, I give a lot of criticism about her first few years as captain on Voyager. But, I started thinking about this and maybe I've been a little too harsh. Maybe they were portraying her as a fish out of water.
Well, she also was. Remember, unlike a lot of the other captains, she was the first captain to be promoted from the science division, not the command division.
I'm thinking about getting an autograph from her next month and having her sign it saying, Tuvok needed to die.
No,
if I get her to sign sorry, Elijah, if you can get her to sign something for me. Hold on, Elijah, if you can get her to sign something for me, I need a signature of her saying, "There's coffee in that nebula."
I'd rather have her say, Tuvok needed to die.
That was a great line, wasn't it? There's coffee in that nebula.
There's no coffee in the nebula. There's alcohol, yes. Coffee, no.
My favorite captain is Sisko, but Janeway's my spirit animal.
But she's only charging $70 for an autograph.
Well, like I said, I think that when I thought about Voyager and I thought about the weakest and how they couldn't figure out the captain, but I did start to think she was a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
the other issue was the writing, switching over her character a few times, because I think they wanted her to be more Sisko-like at times, and they wanted her to be more Picard-like at times, which kind of irked me.
Season 4 she came in solid in season 4.
Yeah, once we got Scorpion, I think once we got Scorpion, she figured out what kind of captain she wanted to be. But we got to remember, like VIleMike said, she was never battle tested like this in any way, shape, or form. This was her first command, and this was a loss of space. And, I give a lot of shit about what she did and what happened with Captain Ramsey, but that could have been two sides. Yeah,
Captain Ransom. Sorry.
Yeah, that could have been two sides of the same coin. Janeway could have gone that way just the same with her crew.
I think she just got lucky because her ship was better equipped.
Exactly.
I mean, think of it this way: would you rather be stuck on a Constitution class or stuck on a frickin' Antares class from the remaster?
Well,
that's the difference.
I'm saying,
an Oberth. That'll probably be better.
Mike, what was the ship's name in that two-parter?
The Equinox.
Yeah, the Equinox. But the Equinox was a science vessel, not a combat.
A short-range science vessel, whereas Janeway's ship is a long-range science vessel.
Yeah. And
not to mention, now remember, Voyager was about the size of a Constitution class. The Nova, which is what the Equinox was small, about half the size, and about maybe the size of the Oberth.
Oh, that's what I was trying to figure out. What was it? I didn't know I couldn't remember the classification of the Equinox. I mean, I have the Equinox behind me, but I just couldn't remember its classification. Now the Intrepid class was a newer version and was dedicated to a different mission. The Equinox was not dedicated to the mission. And I think Captain Ramson, Wally made mistakes. Well, Janeway made mistakes.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys help me choose? I'm kind of difficult decision here. I'm already gonna. Hopefully, John keeps that copy for me so I can buy it from him. But Miranda Bachman is charging $60 for an autograph, and Bruce Campbell is charging $50 for an autograph. Who should I get?
Bruce.
Well, I have a question. How much time do you have to stand in line?
I don't know. I'm like, these are both big both celebrities. It's Bruce and Miranda. I'm like, they're like $10 difference. I can afford one of them. Like, which one should I get? Miranda Bachman's autograph or Bruce Campbell's autograph?
Sorry, I'm more of a Bruce Campbell fan. You know,
I would
Evil
get
Dead,
Bruce
Double
Campbell.
Hotep. My name is Bruce. Come on.
Yeah, I would get the Bruce Campbell. Yeah. If I was going to go with that, I'd get the Bruce Campbell.
Groovy Bruce.
Hey, man. I love Briscoe County Jr.
Critically underrated
you guys
show.
know that.
with
You
Last
know
Longest.
that series. You guys know that series, huh? You know the guy who played.
hell yeah.
You know the guy. I gotta get that because, you know, despite the fact that it got canceled after one season, and you know that was always the thing with Fox. You find a show you love, either it gets extended or it gets canceled, but at least we got a full story, you know, the full story of Bly, everything. But man, I wanted more.
I could have done a little bit without the supernatural elements, but considering that was what was popular at the time, I can understand why they did.
I thought it added an element to it with Bly and the supernatural elements. It's too bad the actor who played Bull is passed away.
I don't even know who the actor was, to be honest.
I don't know his name off the top of my head. I looked it up one day and saw he passed away. But I very much love the show because I enjoyed the sci-fi western aspect. They did it right where what was that fucking movie? Cowboys versus Aliens did it so.
Oh, that was stupid. That was so stupid.
I'm sorry. I loved that movie because I
Oh my
like
gosh.
horror schlock and a sci-fi schlock like that. So to have a big budget version was great.
Wild Wild West was more entertaining than Cowboys vs. Aliens. Okay.
I liked Wild Wild West too.
Whoa! You liked Wild Wild West?
Of course, I liked Wild Wild West. It was the idea of steampunk.
We got to pull some points from. We got to pull his man card.
No.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh my lord.
Engineers
like
defeat
versus Aliens.
Oh my
Holy shit balls, Batman.
I'd rather watch Madam Web again.
I still haven't seen Madam Web.
Do not.
No.
I'm going to at some point. I know it. Once I see it free on Tubi or something, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, 80% of the guys' lines are dubbed. I'm like, what the hell? You can tell.
Elihu, you really watched the fucking movie?
Madam Web, I actually did watch it, and I'm like, Okay, I'd rather spend a day willingly
Please
hanging out with
tell me
Ezra
you
Miller than
surfed.
watch this again.
Please tell me you surfed.
I did.
Okay, good. Thank God. How bad was
But
it?
I enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine on the IMAX screen. I enjoyed that. I'm so
Oh,
glad they had closed caption on there at the theater. But I mean, the Gambit, they had no closed caption. I'm like, okay, come on, it's almost for a reason. I understand this. It was made it funnier. But when the Blu-ray released in the closed caption, I'm like, I can't read French Creole. What the hell, Tatum?
hey, I've been you saw in the group chat that
I like that one.
hey, Eli,
Yo,
you remember how I said in the group chat, I was like, I was not wanting a Channing Tatum Gambit movie. And I was like, after I saw that, I was like, please give me this movie. He's
ooh,
like,
I'm gonna make a
I'm
name for
about to
myself
make a
now.
name for myself.
Phil.
No, I love it. I just loved all the meta shit. It's like, whoo, I've been waiting for this for a long time.
I don't know
Nice.
what. Maybe I was born here. Who knows?
No, but he just, the way they use that boom and it blow up, I'm like, oh, god damn, can we get more of Channing Tatum?
He was a better Gambit than the guy who played in Wolverine.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
Yeah, he was a way better Gambit.
And he's like, oh, they call me the Gauntlet. His name's Dart, but when he shoots a guy, he's like, boom, I'm just like, oh, my shit. He does the staff thing. I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, why did this movie not get made?
Bye bye Russian. I love that.
I just want to know how this movie get made. But the biggest thrill for me was seeing X-23.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after the Logan movie, I'm going to be honest, for all those people who talk about us who don't want female characters, I wanted her to take on the role of Wolverine.
It's only quote unquote recently people have a problem with female characters. Nobody had a
in the comic
problem when
books-
Sigourney Weaver was the female lead action hero in Aliens. Nobody had a problem
hold on.
with Angelina
Caddy, get
Jolie
your
as
ass up
Laura
here.
Croft.
Hey, Caddy.
Get your ass up here.
All right.
It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, she's awake. Yeah, okay, it's 10 o'clock.
No, I mean, I'm like,
I'll stay longer if she comes up.
I mean, I thought when Blade came in, considering that was Lionsgate.
She said why?
New Line Cinema too.
Yeah, New Line Cinema. Sorry, not
Because we need to have the Vile Child on the stream. Plus, I'm actually on camera.
But
Yes, you can tell he's not shiny. He covered it up. No flare. No lens flare.
But when X-23 came out and said, I did, don't make you regret it, I was just like, fuck. Because I wanted an extra.
I literally just woke up.
Hi, Caddy.
Yeah, I told you 10 o'clock. She should be awake by now.
Literally.
Hey guys, I got to bounce. Thanks for having me, guys. Got to get back to it. I'll catch you around.
No
Thanks,
worries,
Val.
man. Considering how well you've been adding to the conversation.
Yeah, exactly right. Been listening. All right, guys. Love you.
Go figure. We got a word in.
Later.
Go figure. You're on here. We got a word in. Thought he was muted the whole time.
Well, now that you finally sent me the proper thing to the underground, the proper link, I've gotten to know a little bit more. But yeah,
NB, after the stream, I got an idea to help your family with some income.
I'm doing
You
fine.
know, I don't think porn is the right thing for him right now.
No. Now, I have a
But,
way to help your family with some income
I
after the stream. I'll tell it to you, okay?
okay. But, after when I saw Blade show up in the Deadpool Wolverine movie, and then I saw X-23, I was just like, oh my God, they finally brought her back. I loved her character in Logan. I wanted them to do a sequel with her. And yeah, seeing Wolverine in the iconic yellow uniform and put the mask on, holy shit. I thought I was gonna, holy shit, dude.
That's called the money shot.
Yeah, no shit. I thought I was gonna come in my pants.
That's the money shot. I'm like, oh yeah, the hood.
All right, now it's all pretty.
Ooh, pretty calendar. Shiny,
Got rid of
shiny.
the price tag, got rid of the whatever was stuck to the front. So yeah,
Nice.
the back
I
looks better.
just love it. I just love the fact that in the Deadpool Wolverine movie, Blade said that stupid line. I
Mr.
love.
January.
Which one? There's still some motherfuckers. Motherfuckers are still trying to skate uphill.
Yep,
Oh.
that's the one. I was like, it's such a stupid line, but I love it.
And some motherfuckers are still trying to skate uphill.
Yeah, some
Brother.
still trying to.
There's only been one
What?
blade, and there'll never be one blade. You never saw the cartoon? Wow.
I'm waiting for this to be over for a second.
What'd you say?
I want to tell everyone that me and a friend of mine are talking about making a YouTube channel where we're gonna start streaming video games.
People do
Which
that
friend?
on Twitch.
Games.
The one that lives in New York.
What
Oh,
game?
yay.
What game?
What game?
As of right now, we've talked about a handful of different ones. Varieties from Minecraft to games on Roblox to some of the horror games we play a lot. And we already do this in the server, which is how we start testing it. And normally if we start streaming, a lot of people from the server will hop in to watch us. And we've been told by them before that we have really good chemistry together when it comes to streaming. Because we bounce off of each other really well.
Well, that's good.
So,
Well, you know, if you do that, I'm going to come onto your channel just to screw with you occasionally.
I expect nothing less of you, dude.
It's called the dad text.
Yeah.
You're going to be on there, and I'm going to be like, you missed an item. You got to go back.
Sorry to say,
Why
but that's
are you not using why aren't you using the fatality?
fatality. Friendship.
Oh, I like this one. I like this one.
we're
Colonel Worf.
That's Lawyer War.
Very good. It's Colonel Worf and not the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He-
Lawyer Worf, but it was Colonel Worf.
Colonel.
some of the stuff he's talked about wanting to do is Minecraft
Nice.
mods.
Correct.
Sorry, these are
not-
movie cards. These aren't calendars. So
Technically, we haven't decided if we're going to be doing it on YouTube or Twitch yet, but we keep bouncing between the two.
well,
Twitch has more gamer streamers than YouTube.
yeah, but you also Twitch has actually gotten more draconian with their rules, and you might do better on YouTube, or you might if you want to do it on StreamYards, like I do.
Pay to cross stream.
You can do both. You can cross stream.
Yeah.
That's what we've been talking about is
I mean, it'll
having
cost
one
you
of the-
$25 a month, but depending on how often you stream and if you can get enough people, $25 a month will be worth it. But I would wait until you get a new job. Speaking of which, how goes the library thing?
I have the interview in a few days for it. I also had an interview yesterday at Taco Bell.
Okay.
What happened? You quit your job, or are you looking for a new job?
They're just not working me, period.
Oh, they keep you on the
They
schedule.
basically cut her hours down to 0.
Yeah.
Oh God, I you know what? I worked at a Shoney's, and and 2 times I quit was because they slashed my hours like crazy, and I'm like, I can't live off this.
If you're getting 0 hours, you need to officially quit so they can take you off their payroll and stop getting income or tax deductible. Because for the employee count, you need to quit immediately. You're benefiting that company.
From what I have seen, I'm not the only employee they're doing it to. Specifically,
Well, that's
doing
some
it to the
advice
white
for you.
employees.
That's some advice for you.
Oh.
Quit immediately because you are helping them with income. With revenue.
So I had Caddy Elihu. I had told after I graduated high school, I went to the mornings at Shoney's, and I was guaranteed 30 to 40 hours. One day I come in, I see my schedule, and it's only 15 hours. How the fuck am I going to live off 15 hours of work?
I don't know. Sonic, dude. The fast first issue.
So Elihu, I came in. I was supposed to work that day. That was the date the schedules were posted. I was only getting 15 hours of work that week. And when I was guaranteed 30, and I said, fuck this. And I quit. I already had another job. So I said, fuck that shit. Mike, I need the hours. I need the money.
Shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit,
Yeah,
I'm
the
out.
only reason I haven't quit the job I have right now is because of my hours.
Well, that's the thing. We as Americans, even if we've gotten on salary, we remember what hourly pay is. And
who is that?
This is a preview comic book for 2. Shrugged and Soulfire.
Oh, Dad, have you looked at the games I gave you?
So,
no, they are. I'll be honest with you. They are still in my testing box in the van, and I haven't even opened it since I got it from you. Because I was going to let your brother play with some of them, but get this, guys. As NB, especially you, since you're a parent too. Jacob is basically been grounded. No TV, no video games, no nothing, because
he's been unplugged.
Earlier this week, his mom got a call from the school because he had drawn penises on one of his tests, and then lied to the teacher, saying they're not penises, they're rocks.
So basically,
better excuse me, say they're rockets. So these are boosters, not testicles.
Not rockets. He said rocks. Now, that got him in a little bit of trouble with us, but it's kind of understandable. He's 9, and he's a little boy. It's not that big a deal. The problem is because he's been grounded and can't use his computer, his iPad, his Switch, or anything else like that, and I won't let him watch anything on my phones when he's with me. He's been acting out in class more often. And earlier this week, he decided to take his glasses and break them on purpose so that he would have the excuse of not copying down the stuff on the blackboard or whiteboard, whatever it is now.
Sit closer, kid.
So now he's even in more shit with me and his mom.
Well, what you're saying doesn't sound exactly like grounded him, it sounds like it's you unplugged him. See,
Well, he's
when
grounded. Also, like he can't
well,
go outside and
hold
play with
on,
his friends
let me
either. So
finish. Let me finish. When we were grounded, that was before the internet. So we were locked in our rooms or we were stuck in the house.
well, he's
The
also
worst
stuck in the
thing-
house.
Yeah, well, the worst thing I found that I can do to my kids is take their phone away. Once I take access to the internet away, they will freak the fuck out.
Yep.
I will
The
say
biggest
this.
punishment for her sisters is to take her phone away.
I was about to say, my mother did the weird thing that she never actually took my phone away. She would just turn my data and the internet off, so I couldn't really use it. Still had it, couldn't use it.
If I changed, my daughter, my oldest daughter, who's about to be 24, she called me and wanted a bitch a fit. And I'm like, told her, I gave her an ultimatum. I was like, you want us to be your babysitter? You want us to be your Uber? I gave her designations where she could live. But what she seems to not recall is who's paying for her phone since she was 16 years old, and whose streaming services is she using, because they're mine. If I shut those all off, if I shut her phone off, it'd be a paperweight. If I changed the password and didn't tell her it, she'd lose her shit. I'm not a
Oh, Dad, did would you like to know what my ex did?
No.
Not really.
Oh no, this one's kind of funny.
Pass.
This
I-
is not something that, Katie, I'm going to tell you something right now. Guys don't want to hear about women's exes, especially your father.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I was gonna say, yeah, especially when it comes to their daughters.
No, I just need to explain this because I need to know if what I was doing was what he said it was.
It
Okay.
wasn't.
Fine. Let me put my therapy bandana on.
All right, I gotta go from dad mode to counselor mode.
So
I love Witchblade.
Oh.
I called him 3 times. The first time I asked him, "Hey, did you get your birth certificate out of our files? If not, can you tell me whenever you're free next to, come and pick it up?" He said, "No, I didn't." I said, "Okay, cool. Jay's still asleep, so I can't get it today, so you'll have to come and get it Monday. But I should have it by then because he, will get up in the middle of the night and I can just ask him to run in and grab it really quick." And he said, "That's fine, I'll be there Monday." I said, "Awesome."
I'm missing the problem. Monday's tomorrow.
No, so this happened last
she's
week.
explaining the story still.
So this happened last week.
Oh.
And then he said he would be here by 3. He wasn't here by 3. It was almost 4. And I called him, "Hey, where are you? What's going on?" He goes, "Oh, I hit really bad traffic. I should be there in like 10 to 15 minutes. I said, "Okay." End of the call. He gets here. I give him his birth certificate. A few days later, I get a text from my mom with the, "Hey, your SIM card's here." So I call him again saying, "Hey, you can take me off of your phone plan. My SIM card just got here. I won't need to be on it anymore." He says, "Okay." End of that phone call. That night, my mother gets a call from his father saying that I've been harassing him.
It's just part of a nasty breakup. It happens.
Oh, I just need to know, was anything of what I was doing considered harassing?
No.
It doesn't matter. You have to understand when it comes to breakups like that, every interaction brings up bad memories of what had just happened. So every
All
time
right,
you
I'm
call,
gonna-
it's like ripping off a scab.
All right, I'm gonna give you an example of something just like that. Caddy, this isn't anywhere near that, but I take my dogs sometimes out to walk at the river, and I had seen this duck for the last week, and I saw these two women the last time I went out there, and oh shit, Mike! I know that back cover. Sorry, I just happened to see that.
Wait, say that again.
Yeah, I know that cover.
What? Wait, I couldn't see that. What? Do that again. Look.
Anyway,
Hold on. I'll show it again in a second.
Okay.
Anyway, getting back to my story here, this lady turned out to be a fucking Karen. There were two of them, and one of them ended up being Karen. And I'm like, I'm out there this time with both my.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Laser tag, nice.
Yeah. What? You forgot about laser tag? That's why it was so beautiful. You know, I don't know if DP was the right way to go.
Especially with modern nomenclature.
So anyway,
it's still a marvel.
So anyway, I see these two women with a van while my wife and son and my dogs are out, and they look like they're feeding the duck, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But as we're about to leave, I notice she's got I'm not familiar with that one.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. The comic book adaptation of the movie.
Sorry, man. I don't have my glasses on. But anyway, I'm looking at this lady, then they're trying to feed it, and then all of a sudden I see her bring a big blanket out. And my wife, my kids, and my dogs are on there, and I just go over to the other side and I talk to them. Or at least I try to. And I said, excuse me, are you trying to catch that duck? And she's like, yes. And I was like, may I ask why? And then she went full Karen mode on me. And she's like, getting all hostile with me. Is like, you're making me uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm 25 feet away from her. I'm not anywhere near close to her. Oh, Doom 2029.
Nice.
Mike, I love the 20. You know, Mike, the Spider-Man and Doom 2029 were the best of the 2029 series.
No, I'm just showing off. That's also issue number 2.
Yeah, I know. But I want to say, anyway, this lady decided to be a cunt with me, and she's like, when I asked her, I said, may I ask why? Because I noticed she didn't have Rescue Center or anything on there. And she finally said, well, I have a farm and I have ducks, so I'm gonna take it there. I'm like, was that so fucking hard to answer? And she asked me why I didn't rescue it. I've read Beowulf, by the way. It's a little bit complex.
No, I'm just showing off. This was a Comic-Con exclusive.
But yeah, I mean, if she had just said that at first, then I'm like, oh, that's sweet of you. But no, she wanted to be a full-blown Karen. Say I was making her uncomfortable. Well, I'm sorry. I've seen this duck out here for over a week, and I'm seeing you try to capture it, and I don't know what you're going to do with it. So that's making my fucking ass uncomfortable. And she just decided to keep getting hostile with me. And she's like, just fucking walk off. I'm like, I'm going to walk off. She was like, yeah, fuck him off. I said, sorry, lady. Like you, we're both fat asses. I said, unlike you, I have a cane, so it takes me a little bit longer.
Never
She
heard of
didn't
that.
like me calling her fat. But I'm like, fuck it. I got a fat pass. I'm like, Mike, I got a fat pass.
Hold on. Elihu, Sly Cooper was a PlayStation game back in the day. That's just a comic book adaptation, similar to that Sonic the Hedgehog one I showed off earlier.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
What?
Did you get the 3DS for the 3DS games?
It is somewhere over here.
Somewhere.
You should
So,
probably.
Caddy, what place are you going to go see? What are you going to go see?
What?
Say that again?
I asked Caddy what plays she plans on seeing.
As of right now, that would be a conversation with Will. I'm not sure what we'd be seeing next. I do know that Tuesday I'm going to go see Wild Robot with one of my other friends.
I have not seen that yet.
Because it's a free comic book day, they have to do one of those double covers.
Yeah.
Free comic book day.
But yeah.
Caddy, what's that play about?
Oh, Wild Robot's one of the movies. It's not a play.
It's an animated movie.
I don't know anything about it.
Don't you miss the 90s when they used to do shit like this?
I also
the all
holographic
covered chrome cover.
The silver and holographic ones, yeah. I missed that.
Yeah, I remember when there was that era of X-Men, and Wolverine, Magneto.
And that Spider-Man issue.
Magneto ripped his animanium. Those hologram issues. Yeah, the Spider-Man ones too. Yeah, I remember those. That was a big deal back in the day.
Well, it was very common, but yeah, the Wolverine one was got to be like one of the most expensive comic books for like 6 months, and now you can pick it up for less than 100.
Well, it was so shocking to see him ripped and have his. He comes up and he tries to take out Magneto, and Magneto's like, "I've tolerated you long enough."
No.
And he just.
If you guys would like to know what play I would like to see,
which one is Jeremy Jordan starring in latest?
Currently, he's in Great Gatsby, which is on Broadway. I can't see that one. It's in New York.
Hey, Caddy, has there ever been a Bonnie and Clyde play?
Musical.
Yes,
there has.
Yes.
Currently, so the Bonnie and Clyde play was made in 2011, and it only was on Broadway for 30 days. I have done. What's funny about this is that I actually have had questions about the play on some of the Jeff Nerdy boards I've made.
What's with this honking?
Notification.
It's her phone. Someone's sending her a message, kind of like how Elihu's, you got another fucking text message thing. Hers is just set to vibrate, and because it's, she's on her phone too. That's why.
I gotcha. So what?
Actually, I don't have that text message alert because I have a new phone. It's a Ren and Stimpy alert.
But no, it's one of my favorite things about
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
Hola, Mr. Cardenas.
Thank
Hi,
you, babe. Yeah,
Mommy.
Mrs. Vile got me this bandana, and that's one of the reasons I'm wearing it. Plus, when I wear this one out in public, I piss off certain people.
Yeah.
In fact, when I took
Wait a
Patty's younger
minute.
sister,
Why would that bandana piss off people?
Think
Why
about
do
it.
you
Go to
think?
Houston. Go to Dallas. Go to Nogales. Think about it. Go to Corpus Christi. Think about it.
Why do you think, NB?
Certain people see the
If
rainbow
I'm
and
going to
get
be
mad.
honest, if it's about the gay thing, here's the thing. I find it ironic that you're wearing the symbol of God on your head.
Well, I will put it like this: I'm not wearing it for that reason.
I know
It's not. It's not a coat, dude.
But NB, I'll give you an example. Hold on, NB. I'll give you an example. When I took Caddy's younger sisters to the car show, I literally had a lady walk up to me and yell at me for wearing this.
I don't understand why okay. But the symbol under Noah was the rainbow, creating the covenant between man and God.
Yes, but because of the more recent adaptation, because of the more recent adoption by a different group, more people are associating it with that. Similar to, think of like the swastika with Buddhist culture versus how it's interpreted here.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I did a post. I said which swastika is racist, because the swastika is Buddhist, but it's been symbolized in many different ways. You know, it just depends on the way you shape it, the way you do it. But you know, that's the big problem I have with people, is they view the swastika just looking at the Nazis, and I'm like, no.
If they are wearing the attire, sporting that symbol, yeah, I'm going to call them a fucking Nazi. If they're not, and they are wearing a Roman garb, okay, they're being tranquil Buddhist.
I was gonna say,
yeah, but I mean, you're talking about exactly what you say. You're hitting the meaning right there. I got
to share something real quick. Hold on. I got to share something real quick when it comes to the store. All right. So this is a comic book that was handed out with at the movie when the Transformers, the movie first came out, the Michael Bay one, the first one. Mm-hmm. Okay. The advertisement on the back is for the transforming gift card that Target produced at the time. At one point, this was the highest or the most valuable thing that I sold on my eBay store, because the first one I sold of this on eBay, I sold for $500.
Damn.
Really?
Hold on, because it was a gift card, and it had $400 on the gift card.
So the guy paid $100.
He basically paid $100 for it, because he laughed the entire time. Because he sent me a message saying, "Why the hell are you asking $500 when everyone else is asking like 10?" And I'm like, "Because there's $400 on it." And he goes, "Okay, that's hilarious."
Well, you know, at least you're an honest business. But getting back to the thing about your, do-rag, what the fuck do I care? You know, I look at it and I just...
I didn't say you.
Whether you want to say it... Well, first off, you all know I'm a Christian, and I 100% support the LGBT community. So why would I, I don't understand this thing with people getting offended so easily.
And I don't look at it. I'm just glad that he covered the shine up. That's all I'm glad about.
Me too. This happened. God, I think Caddy was maybe 3 or 4 years old when this happened. So we're talking like a long time ago. I was at a Hobby Lobby one that had just opened up in San Diego. Ironically, it's actually next to one of my Walmarts, which is kind of funny. But I went in there not realizing, what they, most about with that company. But I was wearing a shirt that I had picked up after seeing a speaker here in San Diego. I'm not going to say his name, but he's part of an atheist group. And I bought a shirt that said it had a giant letter A right in the corner pocket area, and on the back it said Atheist Alliance and stuff like that. And when I was in Hobby Lobby, I was asked to leave the store. And originally, what was funny is because I said, why? And they said, it's because of your shirt. And I'm looking at my shirt and I'm like, what's wrong? All it says on the front is a giant red letter A. And they said, it's because you're promoting adultery. And I'm like, you're kidding me. It's not for adultery. It's for atheists. And I show them the back.
Avengers Assemble.
Well, that means we really need to kick you out. They didn't really say it like that, but they say, then you really need to leave because we don't want atheists here.
One of the big things I ran into during the lockdowns, and I think this is what's maybe a little agoraphobic. For those of you who don't know, that means a fear of going out. I couldn't wear the, those fucking masks because they were making me claustrophobic. Because, and I'm going to put some context to this. Unlike the masks that I had in the Marine Corps and the Air Force, I could breathe through those things with no problem. Those masks that we would put on were just suffocating me, causing me claustrophobia, causing my anxiety to go bad, and I medically could not wear them. And then I'd go into a store and they'd be like, you need to wear a mask. I'm like, I medically can't. And they'd be like, well, you need to leave then because you're a risk to everybody here. Now, I wasn't.
Well, see, that's understandable because they were probably enforcing the rule without knowing the full extent of the rules. But it's a different thing at that point because it's like one's a medical issue, one is a personal issue.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I didn't make a stink about it when I was told to leave. I didn't argue with people. Well, I didn't argue with people. I didn't.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Yeah, well, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can't come in here. I'll spend my money somewhere else. I went to Home Depot. They wouldn't let me in. I went to Lowe's. They would let me in. So they got my money. I was just like, why am I going to fucking sit here and fight with this shit? Or not Lowe's, sorry. It was Home Depot and, what's that other one? Menards. That's one. I walked in there and the lady said, you need to put a mask on. I said, I medically can't. Said, then you need to leave. I said, okay, I'll go to Home Depot. It's as simple as that. As far as I'm concerned, if it's that big of a deal for you, I'll go spend my money somewhere else.
And good for you. But I know some people that don't want to do that kind of stuff. Now, when I was left Hobby Lobby, I was like, well, since you're going to be like that, I'm just not going to come to the store anymore. And I actually have not stepped inside a Hobby Lobby since.
My wife says Hobby Lobby is not. My wife says Hobby Lobby's yarn area has gone to shit. She used to love going to Hobby. No, she used to love. My wife likes to sew and crochet and do things like that.
Go to Target.
So Hobby Lobby was her kind of go-to thing. And now they've got more of the craft stuff, and they've gotten rid of the yarn stuff. And her and her Jessica, my daughter's girlfriend, they went out and they were disappointed in the selection of Hobby Lobby. Because they were like, they've gotten rid of all the yarn. They've gotten rid of almost all the yarn stuff. Now, one thing, since my son has gotten better since he's been, well, as you guys know, he had to get committed. He's doing wood carving again. And we have that wonderful room here that has all the shiplap. And I'm like, watching him do this. I'm like, I want to make that room kind of a mural. If you understand what I'm saying, just different sections,
mural.
different girls. And I think his wood carving would look nice. And, you know, just trying to motivate him and everything.
I heard a lighter and that wasn't me.
Jesus
Ooh,
H.
a Game Boy.
Christ.
A working Game Boy. Wow. Wait, that's the color one? Oh, never mind. I thought it was the old
Yeah,
monocolor.
it's not the original.
It's not.
No,
it's not
Game Boy
monocolor.
Color.
Sorry.
Dude, the original Game Boy can go for like $7,500.
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what's funny about all of this to me is I'm remembering stuff that has happened to my mom. Because of the headaches me and my mom have, we got a dog, and he was trained as a service dog. Because
Oh yeah, he did a great job on that.
oh no, he's actually doing his job. So
Okay, I need a little context here, Mike.
Me and my mother
Is
have
Daddy
something called
yours or Mrs. Cordinus's?
Her mom's.
I am my father's and one of his exes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's so she is yours. Why didn't you say that? It's like my
I didn't know that was what you were asking.
Well,
yeah, she's the spawn of your seed. Say it.
Okay, my oldest daughter is between me and my first wife. That's all I was asking. I was just looking for a little context.
But no,
yeah, except I never married either one of my kids' moms.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you married them. I was just making. So this is from your. So you're talking about your bio mom.
Yes.
Cat.
Yes.
Okay.
The one I live with.
Okay. Oh, you live with your mom. I didn't know that.
So, both me and my mother have something called hemiplegic migraines or stroke symptom migraines. We will look and act like we have had a stroke.
Oh.
And so we end up getting a service dog because if he can predict them, we can actually take preventative measures so we don't get them. But the issue with them is that we can't tell when we're getting them. So we have to rely on other people to tell us.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that in some way. I have some medical issues where I have what I call episodes. I think most people look at them as mini seizures, even though they're not. And, you know, I was out this morning and I was just going to the gas station doing my thing. And all of a sudden, one of those episodes happened. And I was at my Jeep. And unfortunately, the only thing I can do is just stand there and let it pass. And, you know, there was this one nice guy who came by and goes, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, I just got to let it pass." He goes, "Do you want me to pray for you?" I said, "That'd be nice." And then he came out and prayed with me, and it helped. It helped get, because I have panic attacks and then I have things. I was worried I was going to have a panic attack today because I've had them the last 3 days, but I didn't feel that was going to happen today. Sorry, I misspoke there. And, but all of a sudden I had one of my episodes, and the best way I can describe them is looking like a mini seizure without it being in my brain. It's my stomach and everything, but it shuts the hell down out of me.
Yeah.
So my wife's seen it, my kids have seen it. I've had some of those episodes last 10 minutes.
But
So I mean, I don't know what a seizure's like, but what I call episodes and how long they can last, I can sympathize with you and empathize with you.
but the main reason why I was explaining this was because places have tried to kick us out because we brought our service dog in. And mind
I
you,
thought that was illegal.
it is. But it's funny because he has the bright red service dog vest, and the reason they used to try to kick us out is because he's not on a leash. Part of the reason why we have him unleashed is, one, he is completely trained while he is working. When he has his service dog vest on, he will stay right by our side no matter what.
Don't these people know that these dogs are specially trained?
And when he takes off his vest, he's crazy. I will fully admit, the second that vest comes off, he is no longer in work mode. He is running around the house acting crazy. That's how he is.
If
When
a
he has
service dog has a leash on, it's very difficult in case the person has an emergency for that dog to get help, because that leash can hinder the dog's service. Come on, it can get caught up on something.
Thank you, Elihu. Thank you, Elihu. That is why.
We've had to tell people, by ADA laws, no, he is not required to have a leash on. One, the other thing that makes it so much funnier about it is because our migrants can cause us to lose some of the motor functions, so we can't walk correctly, we'll drag our legs, and we'll be more likely to fall. What we'll do is that his vest has this giant fucking handle on it, so we can put our weight onto him so we can walk without falling.
Yes, like a
Yeah, a
crutch.
blind person is not. Yeah, somebody who's nearsighted or sight deficiency or blind does not have a leash. They have a handle. Hello.
But what's funny about that is they're like, well, no, you have to have a leash. And it's like, one, he has a giant fucking handle. If you really want us to be using a leash, we'll just walk him with the handle. Secondly,
no, you don't walk a special needs dog with a leash. You walk them with the handle for the reason.
That's the point she was making, NB.
Yeah, I know that's the point she's making, and I'm agreeing with her.
And
bullshit.
What's even funnier about that is that recently my mother went to a hospital, and the security guards, she's had this same issue at the hospital before, where she goes in, she has Hunter, our service dog, next to her, and she brings him in. Lady at the desk goes, does that dog have a leash? She goes, no, he's a service dog. And she goes, well, he still needs to go. She goes, no, by ADA laws, he does not need to have a leash. And she continues walking in. And what's funny is you are only allowed to ask 2 questions when it comes to a service dog, in which those questions are, is that a service dog? And what tasks can he perform? That is it. Those are the only 2 questions you are allowed to ask. Because he is considered to be a medical device. And if you are asking anything else, you could be trying to get them to divulge their medical information. That's why you are not allowed to ask any other questions besides that.
Well, one of the things with our canine dogs in the military was they are very specifically trained to do certain things, but one thing that you cannot do is, like we were out of the lake and somebody brought their canine out, and I knew it was a canine, and my kids wanted to pet it, and he said no, and my kids were confused, and I said, because he's a canine unit. Said he's very specially trained, and he's not meant to interact like you think a normal dog is.
Yeah.
You know, my kids were confused, but it's like with your service dogs, they're
Yeah.
specifically trained for a certain thing.
And we've
All
explained
right,
this to
I'll be
people
right back. I gotta go to the car real quick.
Okay. You know,
I've
what is
explained
it gonna
this
do?
to people before, which was we've had people come up and ask, can we pet your dog? Mind you, he has the bright red service dog vest on, so.
Yeah, no.
And we've told him, no, you can't pet him. He's a service dog. And we've had people like send their kids up to just go and pet him, and we've had to stop the kids and explain to them, I'm sorry, you can't pet him. He's a service dog. You can't pet service dogs because they're trying to do something important.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not just a pet, it's a service dog. And you have to respect the boundaries and the training of that dog. And people get butthurt about that because they don't understand it. Listen, I've been around dogs. I mean, my stepfather used to breed Rottweilers. I've been around canine units. I've been around service dogs. I know the specific. I mean, I personally know, but I've researched the specific trainings and talked to people, and I respect the fact that those dogs are for a specific reason, and they're not pets. That's the thing people don't understand. A service dog and a canine is not a pet. They are performing a function. Does that make sense, Kat?
Yeah, like I will say this at home, yeah, we definitely treat him like a pet.
Oh yeah, because it's your dog. Because it's your dog. But
when he is out and he is working, we will really only pet him if he is doing something really good. Like there was another dog who was barking at him, so we give him a okay, good boy. I will quickly pet him on the head and then continue on what we're doing. That is positive reinforcement. That's all that is.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's following his training. But yeah, I mean, I understand the concept of, once you take the jacket off, he's what kind of service dog do you have, by the way, Caddy?
He is technically considered to be an alert dog.
No, I meant what breed?
He's a Dutch Shepherd.
Okay.
It's
I was just curious.
Little smaller than a German Shepherd, but honestly just as high energy. It also means he is just as protective and loyal.
Yeah. I've got a Bernese Mountain Dog and I've got an Australian Shepherd, and they're herders. And I tell you what, if I don't let them outside enough, they lose their mind because they gotta walk the perimeter. We're actually talking about getting chickens next year so they can have something to do out there. Oh, especially now because my daughter's girlfriend at their house, because we kind of co-parent between her and we co-parent. Her and her girlfriend come over here, and then they go over to their mom's place. And her mom, Jessica, is I would think my wife's best friend. And they got chickens, and they've been laying eggs, and my wife's been jonesing about getting chickens, and we do have a chicken coop. So
one of my friends had chickens. I used to go and do D&D at their house, and they had chickens. And one of the things I distinctly remember was it was like decently a good day. So they were like, "Why don't we do D&D outside and we'll just hang out?" And at one point or another, one of the chickens was just sitting next to my chair, and she was like, "Hey, do you can pick them up and they'll sit in your lap and they'll just chill there, right?"
Oh
I'm like,
yeah,
"Mhm."
that was such a funny thing. I was watching my daughter's girlfriend Avon pick up her chicken, and it's just like easier than picking up a cat.
But yeah, she walks over, picks up the chicken, sets it in my lap, and she's like, pet it like a cat. They'll love it. I was like, okay.
I tell you what, when I was watching my
You're not petting
dog,
the chicken, you're tenderizing the meat. Remember that.
All right.
that's for later.
I actually got to, guys. I got to go because I forgot that I still have to work today.
Oh,
So
You
I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Caddy, since you're on, do you want to choose what video I end with?
the debate.
God damn it, he's just doing.
Again, I automatically go to Klingon style.
Okay.
More singing, more voices. Hail the Klingons, hoorah! Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy Klingon style. Hey.
Come on,
Did I not play
Caddy.
the other video?
Come on, Caddy. Shoot the.
All right. You're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining. I don't know why it didn't play. StreamYard's issue.
It's always something. Well, actually, I would say for as far as CNA streams, this was one of our better ones.
All right. Later, folks.
Later, weirdos.
Live long and